As a child growing up in Bombay, Vishal Ramani was a prodigy. She debuted as a solo dancer at the age of 7. But as a young woman, she followed her husband to California. At the time, there were few Indians living here, and it seemed that her dreams of dancing professionally would never be fulfilled. 30 years later, Indians have become the fastest growing ethnic group in America, and the Bay Area community has swelled to more than 175,000. Seven days a week, parents now bring their children to Vishal to study the classical Indian dance of the Bharatnatyam at the school she established 25 years ago in San Jose.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, the parents hang around, the children get to hang around. Yes. In between, we go and get from McDonald's the breakfast.
I come from Fremont. There are parents coming from Pleasanton, and there's one student that lives all the way up in Hercules. It's also good for us to get to know each other. So it is a little community, Shri Krupa Dance Academy.
Good. I came with the idea of performing, but I just plunged into teaching and I loved it. Girls, listen. I'm going to explain to you how I've done that routine, okay? Indian dance is not to be viewed as just dance alone. Dance teaches a person confidence, movement, poise, charisma. Look at your hand. When you turn this way, see, I'm pushing you against me. Look at your hand, okay? Go. But beyond that, in my school, I teach the entire philosophy behind dance. And that's what's so important. We're talking about the value system. 1, 2, 3.
We have grown up, way back in India. I mean, we want our kids to at least, just relate somewhat to the roots. And definitely it fulfills that purpose. At the same time, it makes this education dance form, fun.
This dance form teaches you the value system because it is based on the mythological characters and portrayals of the Indian mythology.
Bharatnatyam is the oldest classical dance form of India, a form characterized by a complex grammar of gestures and expressions that were first recorded centuries ago in an aesthetic treatise called the Natya Shastra.
The first chapter, they say, was written by the Lord Creator Brahma himself. And the artistic touch and the artistic contribution was done by Lord Shiva, the supreme dancer. We call him Nataraja, the Hindus call him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially, what we do is we learn to contact the earth with bare feet. And we develop the sound and we develop the knack of hitting our feet on the ground. At the same time, holding our legs in a half-seated position. Smile. Sit down. Let's see who sits the best in this class. And these dance units are embellished with hand gestures. It's almost like sign language, using 28 single-handed gestures, 24 two-handed gestures. Opening the door, holding the child, putting the child to sleep. So now you've got the form, the ability to portray any incident or emotion. Speaking cutting words. Angry, afraid. So Bharatanatyam has great potentials. Any drama, any dramatic event can be done by this dance form. Okay.
At the tender age of 8, Vishal's student, Varsha Ravi Kumar, has already demonstrated a gift for the dramatic aspects of Bharatnatyam.
Mommy, I can't find a last 4.
Varsha arrived here with her parents just 4 years ago when her father Ravi was recruited to work in the high-tech industry.
I can hold it, Mallat. I want to hold it.
In that short time, she's become a prodigy, just like her teacher. Earlier this year, Varsha traveled back to India to make her solo stage debut. The audience was charmed, and marveled that a child so young could become so skilled outside of India.
This is a beautiful one, Masha.
I can still do it.
She's a very fast learner. No doubt about it. So many, when she was 8 months old, she could, say stories, and she could chant good slokas. So that way, she's a very fast learner. I think she has taken it from her dad. Definitely not me.
Oh, look at this, look at this.
From the day Varsha joined her dance class, almost all the classes, I used to be there. At times she forgets, and if I remember, I'll help her. Parent participation in that way, it's really essential, I feel. Like when Varsha joined, she was interested, but after she joined in a few classes, Mom, it's very difficult. I really didn't expect this. So I said, you liked it, you joined, and you have to do it.
For immigrant parents like Ravi and Anu, Bharatnatyam is more than a creative outlet. It's a way of grounding their daughter in traditional Indian values and instilling disciplined work habits that will help her succeed down the road.
Shraddha, dedication, bhakti, devotion. These are the only two key words I can use for any learner of any great art form. You need to have dedication and devotion to whatever you are learning.
Back straight.
I expect them that 1 hour or 1.5 hours that I'm teaching them, I want their complete attention on me. It gives them that ability to focus on what they are learning. And naturally, this is going to go into anything that they are going to learn.
Sit more and really reach. Reach out.
And now I can see my students are all over the place. They are into different branches of medicine, they are into legal world, and they are into engineering world. There's so many of them doing so well outside. It just makes me feel so happy.
Dance and music have become a unifying force for the Bay Area's diverse Indian population, who have come from all over India, speaking different languages and observing different customs.
2, 1.
In the community channel, we bring you from time to time.
For more than a decade, Vishal has hosted a weekly show on public access television.
And
Programs like this one are a sign of how much the community has grown.
it's so different from 30 years ago. There weren't so many Indians at that time. It was like very sparse, not even 1/10 of what it is today. And now viewers, sit back, relax and enjoy. We'll be with you. Even to meet an Indian, to interact with an Indian, it was very difficult. But there was always, that culture that grows inside your soul. India is your motherland. So everyone has this yearning to go back to India, to bring their children back to India. So you go all the way, and people here are more traditional than people in India now. All this. We keep the the Indian culture intact here. If I look at it now, every weekend there are multiple performances. People are getting together and having group events. Girls, come, turn around. We have our Hindu temples. And then we have so many religious holidays. And so students are always called to perform. And I think youngsters growing up here so far away learn that Indian art forms are not different from other world art forms. It's just an art of expression. And they learn to express and they become whole, complete human beings. I feel like I'm definitely a cultural ambassador here. And I enjoy every moment of my teaching. Without that, I wouldn't be breathing in and breathing out.